The Conway Regional Health System pregame show continues. It is our weekly roundtable discussion. I'm joined now by Levi Gilbert and Tim Roach, the voices of the Wampus Cats. And guys, let's do what we do, which is take a look back before we take a look ahead. The offense put a lot of points on the board, and the defense let a lot of points be put on the board. I think that's probably where we want to begin. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Wesley Tap looked very, very good, I thought, last Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Tim this week, and I don't know if it's blasphemous to say this or not, but I don't know that we've ever had someone that throws a better ball than Wesley Tap. And again, I know we've had some great ones. We had a really good one last year.
Yeah.
But when he's got time and he can plant his feet, he can just sling that thing, and he has the vision. He's taller than everybody else out there, so he can get a good view of where the ball needs to go. And man, oh man, he was great. I mean, if you want to nitpick, he only completed 50% of his passes, but to the tune of 407 yards, 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 2 touchdowns. We had 3 receivers over 100 yards. We had both of our main running backs were over 100 yards rushing. And even Cam Blackman, if you look in the return game, I think he had over 100 yards on kickoff returns. So offensively, 700 plus yards. I mean, that's a great, it's a great number. It is funny that we're feeling a little down after doing something like that, but there are reasons to feel that way.
Yeah, defensively, you mentioned giving up a lot of points. So the first team offense gave up 30. And they scored a late touchdown against some of our reserves, but 30 points, half of those were scored in the first quarter. And so to me, there is some level of acknowledgement that we were still working things out. There were a lot of busted plays. We had busted coverage. We didn't tackle well at times. They got behind us more than what we gave up, by the way, but they missed a couple of passes that would have been for touchdowns. So there's a lot to do. And this is not a storyline that even the coaches would say, wow, where are you coming at from that? Now they know, the players know, and based upon our conversation with Coach previously, they absolutely know where they stand. And so it's just a matter of executing and playing fast and not trying to think about where you're going. So Jonesboro's a decent team. They'll score a lot of points against 6A competition, but they are no Bentonville, and that's going to come home this week.
Lots of new faces on defense. How much did that contribute to what we saw? Was it just learning each other, learning there's new schemes? A lot of new on defense. Did that contribute to it at all?
I think so. I think once you had some seasoned guys on the front end, but really once you get past the front line, there was nobody other than Trayvon who had really played a lot of time. And the only other seasoned guy was from California. And so you had some of that going on. But I do think that it does play a role, because you're not only are you concerned about what it is that you need to do, but now you're concerned about what everybody else is doing and how to help and how to move. The speed of the game for them looked like it was faster than what it should have been. And so I think that's the first game, jitters and whatnot. But unfortunately, again, we don't have a whole lot of time to go, well, sorry for us. We've got a lot in front of us here, and hopefully they'll be better.
So tonight, Levi, it's Bentonville. It's a team that we play often. It's a team we saw last year and came within a play of beating and going to the state championship game. This is a really good Bentonville team. They knocked off Tulsa Union a week ago by 2 scores. That Union program is one that does really, really well in Oklahoma high school football. What are you seeing, and as you're preparing for this one against the Tigers?
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of a flip of what we saw a year ago in this situation, right? I mean, you still have top 4 teams facing off against each other. But a year ago, I think Conway was just a little bit ahead of where Bentonville was at that time. It's the exact reverse this year. You know, like we know where we have to fix things, and we got a lot of things to fix. So scheme wise and just, football wise, Bentonville is light years ahead of us right now. Now, can we overcome some of that with our physicality and just being able to make more plays? That can certainly happen, but it's going to take a lot of that to overcome some of the things that we're going to face. Bentonville is going to be much more buttoned up and ready to go than we are. If you look last year when we played them, they lost their opener. They lost to us. They lost their last non-conference game, and then they went 7-0 in the 7A West, and then beat us, or won their quarterfinal matchup, and then beat us in the semifinals. So you just can't always go off of like records and how things are going, because teams are in different places and they're using non-conference to achieve different goals. But if I'm just looking at overall, I think Bentonville is certainly ahead of where we need to be right now. And so it doesn't mean we can't go in there and compete. It doesn't mean we can't go in there and win. It's just we're going to have to really overcome some things, particularly if you look at this offense. I mean, they've got some transfers in on both sides of the ball, but they've got two receivers that are going to be playing in the SEC next year. And so that doesn't necessarily bode well for us, where we were struggling in the back seven a week ago. And we're going to have to catch up real fast. But, I watched that Union film. I feel pretty good that we're going to be able to do some things. It's just, can we sustain that over the course of a whole game? I know Tim, he's dug into the film way more than me. So he's written his 3 things already. So he's ready to go. I mean, he can tell you how we're going to win this game.
Well, I think if I have to try to be optimistic, the one thing that I would lean on,
and you do,
I know, it's my problem. I'll face it down. But is that when you watched Bentonville play Tulsa Union, and then you mentioned how strong Tulsa Union is, and they are absolutely. It looks to me like a team trying to figure things out, because they were running 2 quarterback system, and they were I don't know that I've seen this in a while. The quarterbacks would run the play, then run to the sidelines, get the play, run it back to the huddle, and then give that to everybody. So the one positive, the one thing I think that we will have is that our pace of play, which was faster than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was very much like Kelly, but it was Ryan Howard's offense. That's going to be a big change. Now, they already know how we play, so it's not like it's going to be a foreign concept. But from their first game to this game, light years, completely different. They were Union was taking the play clock down to 2-3 seconds, and they could not audible. They could not make a change at the line of scrimmage. They didn't do any of that. Conway will have that option, and we'll be able to do that, and we'll figure some things out. Offensively, I think we can do some good things. They have some talented guys on the defensive line. Their linebacker, the middle linebacker, number 2, is really good, and they've got a defensive guy in secondary, Tristan Brown, who's very good as well. So it's going to be a tough challenge. It'll be tougher than Jonesboro offensively against them, but I think we can do some good things. Defensively, to Levi's point, not only do they have 2 great wide receivers, they've got another guy, Schmidt, who may not be going to Fayetteville, but he's darn good receiver. And they've got a running back named Ficklin, who they always have a running back named
do they?
By the way. And so, this is the one of 17. So he is very talented. If he gets it loose in the edge, he's going to be real trouble. And Slepecki, the quarterback, is a guy who's a senior who's been there a long time, great thrower of the ball, game manager deluxe. He's not a big runner, but he can manage the ball game. And then they're well coached. Coach Grant knows exactly what's going on. This one's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be a tough game.
I love the way the schedule sets up. I love home against Jonesboro. Got a chance to get on the field and work out some of that. This is a huge test tonight. And then next week's going to be a test as well. And then we get a chance to exhale and then get into the grind of 7 straight weeks of conference play. Looking to learn a lot about ourselves over the next couple of weeks, I think, is important. You want to go 2-0. You maybe be okay with 1-1, but you got to win one of these next 2 on the road. And what that does for a team is important as well, because that cohesiveness, unless you run the table, you're going to have to figure out a road win at some point when it really matters. And so these games are important for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it couldn't be a bigger test. Just the logistics of it,
Yeah.
I mean, you're going all the way to Bentonville, our longest road game of the year. Then we got to go to the east side of the state and go to Marion, a place we've never been before. So there's all of that you're dealing with. And then we saw it last week. It was 75 degrees and we were having hydration issues. I mean, now you got to get on a bus and sit for 3 hours. So
yeah.
there's a lot of things to overcome, and these are great tests for what you're going to eventually have to face and what you expect that you're going to have to face past the next, the final 7 games, the conference games. You're probably going to see something like a trip like this again in the future, hopefully, if we get that opportunity. So, yeah, I mean, these are big road headaches and things to figure out, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. It's I think if last week was any indication of how wild that was, I think we could be in store for some more fireworks.
Never have I felt so bad after scoring 68 points. But truly, Jeff, that's kind of where we are. The coaching staff would tell you that they weren't happy with how that game played out. Even offensively, we made some mistakes. This week has been a tough week for the Wampus Cats in practice. Coach talked about it. A lot of lessons to try to learn. I'm going to be personally very interested to see how this road trip to Bentonville plays out from a practice perspective. How did they apply what they learned in practice? Because if you think you're good and you think you're all that, Bentonville could really hand it to you if you're not careful. And so I'm hopeful that they took heed in practice.
All right, guys, when we come back on the pregame show, we'll visit with Isaiah Bowman. You guys are going to talk to that Arkansas State commit, a fantastic offensive lineman, and watching him develop over the last few years has been fun. And then Coach Buck James will join you for his weekly visit as well. Kickoff is set for 7:00 tonight from Bentonville. The pregame show continues in just a moment. It's brought to you by Conway Regional Health System.